Hello there! Welcome to the Rochelle J. Chung YouTube channel. Today, I'm excited to discuss a topic that is essential to effective project management, and it's called quiet leadership. As a project manager, being able to lead your team with introspection, empathy, and humility can significantly impact your team's success. This is applicable to many other parts of life, but today we're going to focus on project management. In this video, I'll explore the advantages of quiet leadership, how to determine where you fit as a leader, and how to practice quiet leadership as you engage in various aspects of project management. So whether you're an experienced project manager, just starting out in your career, or you're just looking for some project management tips that can help you in other parts of your life, I hope this video will provide you with valuable insights and tips to become an even more effective and successful project manager while exploring the theme of quiet leadership. Let's get started. So what exactly is quiet leadership? Simply put, quiet leadership is a leadership style that prioritizes introspection, empathy, and humility. Quiet leaders listen more than they speak, and they lead by example, rather than solely, focusing and relying on their authority or their positional power. By embracing this style, leaders can create a supportive and inclusive work environment, promote innovation, create safety, and actually inspire creativity. By doing so, they not only build trust, but they build respect among their team members, which leads to great work. Quiet leadership can have a significant impact on team communication and overall project success. For example, I've found that leaders who lead with empathy and humility actually encourage open and honest communication, because you don't have to feel like you're almost on a time ticker. It leads to better problem solving and decision making, because what you're doing is you foster a supportive and inclusive work environment, and that leads to people not being afraid to collaborate. They also feel more motivated, and they feel confident when problem solving or proposing solutions, because they're empowered to make decisions. What that then leads to is a promotion of innovation and creativity. If people aren't feeling scared to pitch solutions and to be empowered to use their brain, they can actually propose new and improved approaches to project challenges and common day-to-day work. And that eventually leads to a development of trust. A development of trust and respect among team members and within the team environment. That leads to an improved morale and job satisfaction. People feel like what they're doing matters, and they feel like they can do that without necessarily the constraints of fear or feeling like they just have to tick a box of doing a job. There are a lot of ways to kind of figure out where you fit into the leadership spectrum, even if you're just fresh and just starting out in your career, or whether you're experienced and looking to step up in different ways, or just to assess yourself. You can determine where you fit as a project manager and whether or not you're practicing quiet leadership by asking yourself the following questions. So, do you listen more than you speak? Do you lead by example? Do you value humility and self-reflection Would people classify you as an empathetic leader, or are you just telling people what to do? Do you prioritize the needs and perspectives and opinions of others? And do you value open and honest communication? If you answer yes or maybe to some of these questions, you might be a natural fit for quiet leadership in project management, or maybe you've just been developing in that area. But if you find yourself struggling with, or your response to some of those questions give you a bit of a pause, that's okay. Quiet leadership and leadership in general is a skill that can be developed with practice. Me, for example, I don't naturally go to a lot of places where I feel like I have to be loud as a leader or be out in front of people. That doesn't make me a bad leader. And that was something I had to learn from 360 feedback from others, and just that introspection. Because just because I wasn't the loudest in the room, or maybe the most vocal in the room, it didn't mean that I wasn't leading people and supporting them in ways that they saw as leadership without actually overpowering and being loud at others. Something to consider as you look around your teams is to kind of see where team members might not necessarily be the stereotypical fit of what we consider leadership to be, especially where as humans we have unconscious bias. So maybe it's that person who's always just being an observant participant, or maybe they come in at the last bit with a question that shifts the direction or inspires others to look at something in a different way. Take a deeper look and a closer look at those people. There might be opportunity there to actually nurture them into a spot of leadership, or if they are already exhibiting leadership qualities, there might be an opportunity to help them be more assertive in that area and be more upfront. So, how can you exactly start incorporating quiet leadership and I guess leadership principles into your project management practices? And these are applicable, I would say, to any path of life and any job. You want to listen actively. Pay attention to what your team members are saying, ask questions, show empathy, and be mindful of, I guess, the things that you're multitasking on while people are talking to you. You'll be surprised what you can pick up when you focus on the person and the human in front of you. Lead by example. Set an example for your team by exhibiting the values and the behaviors that you're either asking for or that you want to see in others. It's not so much like do as I say and not what I do. You want to actually show them and be that. You'll be surprised how many people are watching you as a leader, where they are more likely to step up in ways that you wouldn't even dream of asking them to, just because they're seeing that behavior in you. Practice humility. Admit mistakes. If you've propelled the team in a wrong direction, maybe you missed a mark on something, maybe you missed a follow-up, admit that mistake. It's not going to kill you. And be open to feedback from your team. When you have mistake, or when you've maybe made a step that wasn't necessarily the right path, there's going to be feedback. There's going to be feedback on processes that you introduce, and it's not so much to be like, this is what I say, just do it. You want to take that time and actually listen to your team and take in what they're saying, because you can be surprised how there might be blinders that you're wearing as a project manager, where their feedback can actually help propel the team in ways that you wouldn't necessarily have thought of. Reflect regularly. Take the time to journal or sit with your own thoughts and feelings, and I would say actually write down. So don't wait until like year end or a quarterly review or anything like that to actually sit down and reflect on your role, reflect on maybe the goals that you had set out, and reflect how you're leading. You can do that by actually documenting it in a tool like OneNote. You can use a traditional notebook, but take the time to sit down and say, like, I reacted maybe in a tone in a meeting, or this person took a while to email me back. How did I react to that? And how did I, react to maybe a project deadline being missed? And those steps that you take for introspection can actually help you to have a consistent view of your growth and how you can improve, which then feeds as a downstream impact on your team in a positive way. And those can help you improve as a leader, but also improve as a project manager. And this one is so important, but it is to encourage open communication. Foster an environment where people feel comfortable speaking up, people feel safe if they've made a mistake to say, like, hey, like, I know I said I would have this by Friday, but based on where my priorities sit, it's gonna be a bit longer. Here's the new timeline. People should feel safe to do that, but they should also feel safe and comfortable to be transparent and share their thoughts and ideas. If you're not fostering that open communication environment, people will keep things to themselves, and resources will keep things to themselves that can have not only a long-lasting impact that's negative, but it can also shift how you do work, because then you will be in more of a defensive mode and also more of a watchful mode versus a collaborative environment. Quiet leadership, in closing, is a powerful approach and tool to nurture in your toolkit, because it can have a significant impact on team communication, success, and by embracing quietness, introspection, empathy, and fostering an environment where there's open communication, you become more of an effective project manager who inspires and motivates versus just people reacting to tasks that you've assigned. If you're not sure where you fit as a project manager, it's totally okay. Check out the questions that I asked and ask yourself those questions. Ask yourself those questions and be honest with yourself on where you stand as a leader, and just slowly take small baby steps to start practicing those quiet leadership principles. You'd be surprised where you are a week from now, a month from now, a year from now. Thank you so much for joining me today and for listening to this talk. I hope you find it useful, and I hope that you will take the steps to actually discover what kind of leader you are. I'm curious in the comments below if you'd let me know, one, if you've had a good experience with a quiet leader, if you consider yourself a quiet leader, or if you've ever even heard of the term quiet leadership. Let me know in the comments below, or if you have any questions. Thank you again for coming, and I hope that I will see you again in one of our future videos. And as always, thank you for learning with me. Have a great day.